And we do training, research, consultancy, and outreach services. Now, this is my session trajectory. We'll do a bit of introduction, that is the few Nexus in Kenya, and then the state of food, energy, and water Nexus in Kenya. We'll talk about notable food, energy, and water projects, and also capacity building foundation for food, energy, and water Nexus solutions. Then we will also talk about the bridging research and practice and the role of Kenya Water Institute in this respect. I'll briefly talk about our role in this respect. And then we will also talk about KWI's leadership in cross-sector capacity building and also policy context for food, energy, and water Nexus in Kenya. And then we will also briefly discuss some challenges and opportunities in capacity building. And finally, we will look at a few recommendations and roadmap for sustainable progress. So ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed to the presentation. In terms of the introduction, the food, energy, and water Nexus addresses the interconnection and interconnected challenges of food security, energy access, and water resource management. Kenya faces pressing challenges in issues in all the three areas due to population growth. We also have challenges with the climate change and economic transformation. And ladies and gentlemen, to achieve both short-term and long-term sustainability goals, Kenya must foster cross-sector collaboration and resource efficiency within the few Nexus. And this Nexus framework integrating innovation, innovative approaches for resilience. What is the central role of capacity building? Where Kenya, most of the part of Kenya is actually arid and semi-arid. And so because we depend mostly on rain-fed agriculture, it becomes quite a challenge to sustain food security. So currently we are investing a lot in terms of, irrigation projects and other projects aimed at bridging this gap, but there's still a bit of a challenge. Despite obstacles, Kenya has made progress through policy reforms, promoting renewable energy, centralized water management, and agricultural modernization, underscoring the need for more extensive cross-sector collaborations. It was Ungiro North Conservation Project, which is actually a catchment rehabilitation, and we also have Northern Collector Tunnel, which is supplying water to urban areas, especially Nairobi. We also have some renewable energy expansion and significant investments in hydropower, which include 7 Forks dams. We also have geothermal projects in Olkaria and wind power projects in Turkana County. We also have a number of some of these projects in geothermal and other initiatives that the government through PP training programs and alignment with technology and environmental needs, which are vital for management of large-scale food, energy, and water initiatives. At a systemic level, we are integrating policy frameworks, harmonized regulations, and collaborative platforms which enable evidence-based planning, knowledge sharing, and innovation, which fosters long-term resilience and inclusivity. Now, talking about bridging research and practice and the role of Kenya Water Institute, a critical challenge in Kenya is the gap between the food, energy, and water research and international partners to ensure the dissemination of best practices and integration of innovative approaches. This knowledge exchange helps align academic findings with community needs, enhancing the impact and relevance of food, energy, and water sector interventions. And maybe just to mention, we are also working very closely with the African Development Bank to conduct a number of research activities across the water sector. And some of these research findings are usually disseminated through workshops and other conferences that we participate in. Now, on action-oriented collaborative strategies, in terms of stakeholder engagement, we are boosting collaboration through trust building and clear communication among government, private sector, academia, and communities to ensure alignment with national priorities and project ownership. Leveraging on technology, digital platforms facilitate information sharing, coordinate and stakeholder involvement across the few nexus, enhancing accessibility and efficiency of interventions. It's also important to mention that there are quite a number of innovative approaches that are coming up across Africa. Currently, ladies and gentlemen, in the water sector, one of the problems that we are facing is what we call the non-revenue water, which is actually the amount of water that is not accounted for. And through the support of TECA, we have developed some training programs around that area that target about 9 different African countries, including South Africa, Malawi, Nigeria. Actually, it's a constitutional requirement. Need for policy alignment. Effective capacity building requires harmonized sectoral policies, adequate funding, and cross-sector collaboration for embedding development goals and ensuring systemic change. Now, what are the challenges and opportunities in capacity building? We have grouped some of these challenges into barriers to access and also emerging opportunities. Now, challenges include funding limitations, fragmented regulations based on factual information. And in most cases, this factual information can only be attained through research and, repositing of data. So one of the biggest challenge we have is lack of proper data for decision making. Emerging opportunities, the rise of digital technologies, strong international partnerships, and Kenya's devolved governance structure offer some new pathways to advance capacity building and integrate food, energy, and water sectoral developments. Recommendations and roadmap for sustainable development, learning, and open source materials. There's also need for research, outreach, and innovation hubs. We need to spearhead joint research clusters and action research and creation of community co-created models so that we can be able to have an opportunity to share more information and to create more value through collaboration. There's also need for benchmarks and exchange and policy advocacy, implementing some benchmarking with global